So finally, to talk about how we're going to pay for all of this, you've brought forward a very unique idea, which is eliminating the IRS, eliminating the income tax, and replacing it with a national sales tax. And what I'd like to know is, first of all, how that affects the federal budget overall, and second of all, when I go to buy a gallon of milk or a gallon of gas or a car, and my income tax is now being charged to me at the sales tax, how is that going to change my everyday life?
Well, I'll come to that in a moment, but you just made me think of something. That next time you're pumping a gallon of gasoline, you're watching the little digits turn around, you're paying maybe with $3 a gallon. It's going to be more than that this summer.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, there's $4 more that you're not seeing. That's the cost of putting out the military to keep prices of oil stable. So you're paying $7 a gallon. Make no mistake about it, directly and indirectly. And that's what government's good at, is hiding things from you. Now on system of taxation, understand that's the most important task that a government does, is raise revenue. But when the government raises revenue unfairly, the people know intuitively, they know it in their gut, that the government's not going to take that money from you and use it fairly because they're not even raising it fairly. The tax system, income taxes and sales taxes, are both progressive. The more you earn, the more you pay. The more you spend, the more you pay. Both are progressive. Unfortunately, our income tax system has been corrupted over the years. The code is that high. I was on the finance committee for 8 years, and I got to tell you, there is nobody in the world who understands the totality of it. You spend millions of dollars on paying attorneys to take care of your interest in that regard. So understand that the government's not doing it fairly. Now, what is fair? Fair is for you to understand what you're paying and what your neighbor's paying. And the only way you can do that is with a sales tax. Now, the great benefit of the sales tax, we can even make it more progressive, because we know that we have the essentials of life: food, lodging, medicine, even transportation, clothing. Now, we can't give an exception for that, because the minute you give an exception for that at the grocery store, what's going to happen is the wealthy people will come in and game the system like they've done with the income tax, and lo and behold, you're going to be back at square one. So what you do is we develop a prebate system, and that is we develop the computation. What is the cost for these essentials for the average American? We take that, we multiply it by the cost, by the tax, and the tax could be 23%. Stop and think. We're not raising the taxes. We're just taking the taxes away from the 23% that's there in the income tax and putting it on as a sales tax. And so now what we'll do with the essentials is we multiply that by 23%. We take that sum of money, divide it by 12, and since the Social Security is experienced at sending out checks, they're going to send out checks to every single American on the first of the month for the taxes that you will be spending when you buy. So that's going to provide a cash flow to American citizens of about $500+, and the poor will get this cash flow where they get nothing now, nothing. If you don't have income as a poor person, I got to tell you, you got two choices: go on welfare or go sleep under the bridge. And that's all you have, and that's what's going to change with this system. And this system here, what you get is and people consider me a liberal. Well, let me tell you, what you get from the liberals: let's tax the corporations. That is a hoax. Because when you tax the corporations, what they do, they treat that tax just like they treat the resources, the labor content of what they produce, and that's added on to the cost of what they produce, and they pass it on to the consumer. And so what taxing corporations is nothing more than a stealth device to stick it to the consumers, and the people aren't even aware of it. What you need is a simple tax where you turn around and you know what you're paying, you know what I'm paying, and that's called transparency. And that's what the fair tax will do, and it will bring back manufacturing to this country. It will solve the economic problems we're walking into that are very serious, very serious. That's just the beginning of it. I could go on for another hour on that one.
And if people want more information about any of these,
go to my website, which is Gravel08.us, Gravel 08.us. And if you want to find out more about the National Initiative, you'll see it there, but you can go to the National Initiative site, which is nationalinitiative, one word, .us.
Senator Mike Gravel, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir.